I see you. I think I was recording.
Well, welcome Eva Lee from Leah's Pantry. We're so excited to have you
Thank you.
to come to our community day. So everybody, this is our Food Smart Waste Reduction Workshop from Eva Lee of Leah's Pantry.
Yes, thank you for that introduction, Tina. Welcome everyone. Happy New Year. Hope everybody's New Year's off to a great start. This is the Food Smarts Waste Reduction Workshop, and this workshop you completed as one of three. You may have heard Kevin do our first workshop. This is the second one. And it's, and I wanted to check in with everybody on audio and video, if you can see and hear everything properly. Let me know if you don't hear anything. And I think so far, so far so good. Yes. Wanting to just go over a few housekeeping with our mics and raising our hands. If you want to do *9 for if you want to have something you wanted to say something and share the airtime, about roughly 2 minutes per person. If you want to be able to add some feedback, you can utilize our chat box for comments and questions. And, that was fast. We're respecting confidentiality here. Everything you say is confidential, and we were respectful of each other in our comments, and anything that you guys want to share here is going to be respected in private as well. So for the phone only, if you want to do *6 for mute and unmute, and *9 for raising your hand. So if you're on your phone, you're not using any video, you can do that. And then I believe if a lot of people already utilized these controls at the bottom here, if you've done some other Zoom video workshops. So today we're going to do, is it safe? And you did, the first one was where's your waste? And this particular one is called, is it safe to eat? We're going to go over some of that, and then I'll be doing a little demo. My name's Eva. I'm a nutrition educator. I graduated from San Francisco State University with a bachelor's of science in dietetics and also biochemistry. My hobbies include singing, baking, and Zumba. I also like to explore different foods in the city, just like try different nationalities of food. Okay. There's SMART goals. When we're talking about the new year and we're talking about wanting to make new goals for ourselves, a lot of you may have done that or are in the process of like working on goals for yourself. Has anybody made a list for New Year's resolutions or anything like that? No? Well, maybe today's a good day to start. The SMART goals it's an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and I went too far. Time. This bar is a time frame. So instead of for a goal, instead of being vague with your goal, be specific with your goal. That way you can attain it, and it's you know exactly what you're going for. Instead of a long-term goal, make it measurable. You say, okay, with this week, I'm going to try a new vegetable. Once a week, I'll be trying a new vegetable, something like that, where you can measure it, and it's short. It's short-term, not long-term. Make it achievable for yourself. Not involve too many factors and things that you can't control. Make it realistic, and make it so you don't involve other people in your goals. Make it just for yourself. So yes, that's what the SMART stands for, as specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and the time frame. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay. Yes, so like when I'm talking about specific, and we're going to be talking about avoiding words like less or more or better, just saying I am going to have 1 cup of brown rice this week. I'm going to incorporate that into my diet. So something like that, instead of like, I'm just going to eat more whole grains, or I'm going to eat less processed foods. So, measurable. When will you know when it's achieved? Okay, like measure. Can you measure it? Will it be done in a week? Maybe just for like the day, you can make it so that you can make a goal for yourself for one day versus a week versus a month. Know that everything is in your control. Choose goals that relate to your actions. And choose goals that are likely to be accomplished. So start small. Does anybody want to share a small goal that they would like to try?
I'd like to eat plain rice.
Mhm.
I mean, a brown rice instead of white rice.
Right. So that's one example off of here too. So, and that's a good one. Yeah, because I also grew up eating white rice, but I have tried brown rice and I do like it, and I like that it has more fiber and B vitamins for you there. So that is a great one. That's a good one to start with. Maybe that'll plant a seed in people and be like, hey, in their brains, oh, I'm gonna start doing brown rice. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna order that next time. So, yeah, thank you for that. That's Tina, right?
Yes.
Goal track, yes. Okay, I see Jane. Goal to track my eating through My Fitness Pal before going to bed. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, if I know there's a lot of apps out there that you can try tracking your fitness goals and your diet too. Yeah. Smart goals. Right. So this is one. So here's where you can write. So if you can visualize writing, oh, why did it get in that so fast? Go back. Instead of, so this is very specific. If you can write this down on a piece of paper, it's a very easy one. Like I will, and put your action in. How often? This week. Make it very easy, very attainable, measurable. So we could say, so maybe Tina, for your example, we could go, I will have one serving of brown rice this week, or I will,
Right.
try doing a short walk in the park for half an hour this week. So everything is specific and measurable. So if that makes sense. Yes. Does anybody want to give an example of what something they would do for this exercise? How about here's one that people sometimes have a hard time with drinking. I feel like people oftentimes they don't drink as much water as they should be. So you could say, I will drink 3 cups of water extra a week, more than I usually do. Something like that, where you can measure it. Sometimes we forget. I have to remind my children to drink water. They just go through they'll go through the whole school day without drinking water sometimes. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So like we'll drink coffee, we'll drink tea, we'll drink other, you could drink like, I know like those smoothies now are really popular. I can see them selling at the stores, but drinking just water, adding more water into your daily diet is good too. Something's in the chat here. Try eat more fruits. So yeah, we'll eat an older item from your freezer. Okay. So yes, right. We're making use of the food that's already in your refrigerator and freezer. That's definitely something we want to do to reduce food waste. All right. So here's the chart that we were talking about for what is it safe to eat, and what does it mean, like the best if used by or best before versus the sell by date, and then the expiration date on a can or a jar of food. So the best if used by or best before is when a product's flavor and quality is best is at its best. So it's still safe to eat and taste, but the quality may change. So it's still okay to have and use. Sell by is a store must sell the food by this date, even though it's still safe to eat, they need to sell it. They didn't move it out of the store. And then the expiration date on food is on baby food, medicines, and vitamins. So this is the one we take. There's no really exceptions for this one. You don't want to use anything outside of the date that is printed on the baby formula or on baby food, medicines, and vitamins. Does anybody have anything in their pantry that they need to go through and go, hey, it's probably expired, or I need to pull it out and see if I could still use it? Is there
Always.
Yeah. I even just today I pulled out something, a can of beans. Yes. What did you find?
I always have expired stuff in my refrigerator, and then when I find it, I might see if it's moldy or anything. If it's not moldy, I'll keep it though. And if it doesn't smell bad.
That's true. But this is particular for foods that's not been opened. So like canned or packaged food that have not been opened. But yes, generally. And then also, use your best judgment. If the food has a weird bad color, odor, or anything, if the can is bulging, we definitely cannot use it. You gotta throw it out. So yes, not to risk yourself and your health and your safety. That. So here's an example over here for unopened products. So the shelf date on the printed date on the baby food is what you should go by. We're talking about what is like, we don't negotiate with this one. This one is a baby food and vitamins, pills. We go with the date. But butter, if you put it in the refrigerator, it's good for 2 to 3 months. But then if you put it in the freezer, it lasts for 12 months. I do that with my butter. Yeah, if you have any baking, buy things that are on sale. And if you sometimes butter will go on sale, you want to stock up on, some of it instead of having to keep going to get it. You can put it in the freezer if you have storage room for that. Bread is for 4 days on the shelf. If you're refrigerated, it's good for 14 days. And then if you put it in the freezer, it's good up till 3 months. So I do that with a lot of the Trader Joe's bread. There's a sprouted grain bread from Trader Joe's that I really like, but it goes bad within a week. And so if you're not on it and you forget and you go, oh, leave it out, there's mold on it. So you get mold on it really quick.
We get the Costco bagels, and I noticed that if we don't leave it out in the kitchen, it goes bad really fast, like 3 days to start molding.
Yes. I guess it's a sign that has less preservatives in it.
That's true.
Yeah, I know that Trader Joe's bread that I get is like, it definitely has, it's just like sprouted grains, and it's just like there's not much in it, and not many preservatives. So within about 5 days, it will go bad. And so I put it in the freezer, and it's good for a few months. So yeah. So spices though, you can go 4 years. And if it's ground spices, 2 years on the shelf, you can extra past the expiration date on the package. And everything is properly handled and stored. So if you have it in a cool, dry place, that kind of thing, like if it's properly stored. Chicken, poultry, turkey in the refrigerator 2 days, but you freeze it 12 months. So yeah, you can do that with your. Does anybody already do that with their butter, bread, or poultry? They put it in the freezer. Probably.
I have a question. What about if the chicken or turkey is still in its packaging? Can you keep it longer in the fridge?
If it's in its packaging, 2 days in the refrigerator though. If it's in the packaging and it's on the printed after date, if it's 2 days after the date, so that would be good. Okay. Yeah, so this is talking about if there's a date that says, oh, it expires January 19th, you can keep it 2 more days after.
Okay.
So it's like people going, oh, let me just throw it out. But always use your best judgment, right? If you see that it looks, the colors on it is off, you smell it and it smells funny, get rid of it. Because sometimes, there's the packaging, there's a hole. You don't realize that, that something has gotten in, like that there's I've noticed that with some of my things, like even with my produce, when things are like sealed with the saran wrap on it. And then somebody had punctured it with a hole, or even yourself while you're like unloading, that would make things go bad faster as well. So yeah. I had a question here about the butter. I'm sorry about that. Cost of butter is too much. Yes, sealed in the freezer. It happens after 3 months, unopened. It should be still okay to use. Butter goes up to 12 months. Yolanda, is that what you're asking? What happens to butter after 3 months? Unopened. It's still good to use, I believe, if it's stored properly.
I meant in the refrigerator.
In the refrigerator, if it's after 3 months, it may have like it. I've tried some with unsalted. It doesn't taste quite the same, but it still seems okay to use for baking. It starts to kind of like use your best judgment after 3 months. You probably just best to just throw it out and use a new butter. Just if you're not sure, always err on the side of caution. That's what I would think about for that one. Otherwise, if you remember, put your butter in the freezer. That way you don't have to think about it, put it at like 2 months. I'm not using it. I'm going to put it in the freezer. Yeah. Those are good habits to do. Yeah. Oh, so beans. I found a can of beans in here. 3 years, you can still use it past the expiration date on the can, assuming that you have stored it properly and you've had it in a cool, dry place, like in my pantry, it's been there. So eggs in a shelf or in the refrigerator 4 to 5 weeks past the date. Oftentimes, I don't know if you see this one come up a lot too. You'll have see eggs of like, oh gosh, this has been a week now. It's still good. I'll crack them too. I've done it in the past where you crack them and you're like, oh yeah, this is still good. This is still fine. It smells fine as well. Except milk, 6 months in shelf. That's like the dried milk, powdered milk. Peanut butter, 18 months on the shelf too, past the date. So yeah, it's good to know that you can still use some items. Here's a chart that has all the dates on it. I believe that we can share this with you if you want to take a look at it afterwards. There's a lot of different items on here, from condiments, beverages, dry goods, and dairy. If you'd like to get a hold of this, this is a very informative chart. Does anyone have any questions so far?
Will you be sending it to us?
I think, yes, I can, or Tina will. I think we can access to it.
Yes, if you can send it to me.
Sure.
We can forward it over.
Yeah, it's very good. It's good to have. I always refer to it. You're like, oh, what about this? What about a pumpkin? You ever do that where you can pumpkin, you buy, like I get it on sale because it's like the holidays. I want to make pie, I want to make pumpkin bread and cookies. And then I end up like having like 4 or 5 cans. And I'm like, okay, now I end up, the holidays pass. I'm like, well, now I have more cans of pumpkin in here. I'm like, oh, let me just check the date on that. I opened 1 can actually that was past the date and I was like, oh, this is still good. So yeah. Nice. Oh yes.
Can I ask you about the eggs?
Sure.
Yeah. In the farmers market, there's a lot of, there's some vendor, they sell eggs. There's, in the, regular room temperature. How long do you think those will last?
At the vendors, I would imagine if they like at the farmers market, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I would imagine that would be the same thing. I mean, do they have a printed on date on their cartons?
But
I don't know if they would, because it's not like a grocery store where you would go and I would check with the vendor and see if like, oh, is there a date? And then that way you can refer and go like, okay, well, this is the date they gave me. I can keep it in the refrigerator 4 to 5 weeks. So yeah, I think you could, if you remember to talk with the person who is doing at the vendor shop. Yeah. So yes, do you guys have, do you all go to the farmers market? Do you like to go? Would you like to share your favorite produce that you'd like to get at the farmers market, or treat that you like to get there?
I usually go to Belmont Farmers Market, buy some Chinese vegetables.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, I know they have Chinese vegetables there. Okay, that's where I usually go to the Clement Street and get my Chinese vegetables there. And so and sometimes, you know, when they wilt, you can liven them up by putting them in cold water. I don't know if you ever use that trick. What's that? They just said. Oh, Gary wants to mention that eggs that aren't commercially washed and intact can stay at room temperature for more than a week. I have an aunt that she would do that with her eggs. She leave it at room temperature. Does anybody do that? Leave their eggs at room temperature for a week? Leave them out? Mostly, yeah. Oh, nice. Wow. Son has 6 chickens. So yeah, definitely you get some fresh. I noticed the yolks are very vibrant for farm fresh eggs versus ones that you get at the store. Yeah, I noticed. I enjoyed a breakfast recently and they had like eggs that were like really, the yolks were really vibrant. Going to college in San Mateo and knock off 2 birds with 1 stone, get fresh produce and a good walk. Perfect. Yes, that's great. You can do Yolanda was saying you can go and get your produce and get a walk in. So yeah, definitely 2 things that it's great to do. And it's also one of those, you can put that on your goals list too. Does anybody else have any questions? Any comments? Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is this recipe we're going to make, and everything we show and do on here is on our website, eatfresh.org. This is the 3 Sisters salad that we're going to do today, and it's going to be the 3 sisters are the corn, beans, and squash. So in this case, we're going to do zucchini. Native Americans planted them together in the garden because they helped each other grow. So it's that the 3 sisters work together to give your body a nutritious meal. So in this recipe, it's going to, it ties in the packaged food that you'd have. So like the canned beans, and you can do garbanzo beans, kidney beans, or black beans. And then it also ties in citrus, which is the seasonal produce right now in season. It's we have lime juice. We're going to be using lime juice in this recipe. So here, if you'd like to access this, we can send out the link, but it's just called the 3 Sisters salad, and it looks nice. I am going to omit the jalapeno pepper today because it's too spicy for me. And I'm not sure if anybody can handle spice here too. Like, do you like spicy food? Can you usually say no to the extra chili flakes or jalapeno peppers? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to bring it over here. And I'm probably going to have to unplug my earbuds. Sure everybody can see. My setup here. So this is the black beans I got, and this, you know, what I found very interesting is that when I went to look for low sodium black beans, this one had 85 milligrams, and it doesn't even tell you it's low sodium. But this particular can says it's low sodium, but then the sodium percentage is 140. So and it's the same serving, it's half a cup. And this particular can had less sodium than this can. Found that very interesting. I was looking all over for canned beans that had 0 sodium, but none of them said it. All of them had low sodium. But then this one didn't even note that it had low sodium, but it had less than this one. So anyways, I thought that was interesting. Yeah, because when they advertise things on their can, it can be misleading sometimes. Yes. So anyways, here's this one. So I did this is 1 can of 15-ounce can of black beans that is drained. Let me put it in here. I drained it over there earlier so they wouldn't have to walk with me to the sink. So if you have black beans in your pantry that you need to get rid of and you need to check the date, you think it's still safe to eat, you can do that. And the corn, this is also a corn here that you can get that's with no salt, that you can get at the store that has no salt. But the thing is with corn, I really like the frozen one. So I bought frozen and thawed it out because I find it's sweeter and it has more of a crisper, fresher taste. Also, it's a great choice to always choose frozen fruit and vegetables because they freeze it at the peak and have all of their vitamins and minerals are intact. So this one calls for 1 cup of corn. Does this sound like something you might try, this recipe? Anybody would?
I
They
would.
could go through their pantry.
Easy and healthy, and I have everything in stock already.
Yeah, exactly. Like everything is there, and then you can go, hey, in the pantry, I need to clear some things out. I think I can make some things. This would be a great party to bring to a party as well. And it's also very colorful. So when we talk about, when I worked with children, I did the workshops for Food Smarts. We did a Eat the Rainbow, like it's, different colors of foods and things that would be different fruits and vegetables that are colorful. So that's definitely something like this too. I'm actually going to put the rest of it in here. Yes. And zucchini. Instead of getting a canned corn that has peppers in it, I got a fresh pepper because I think that would just be nicer. I think the flavor would be better. Got that instead. I'll do the zucchini first and then show you this one. This medium-sized zucchini. What other squash would you like to try? Would be good for this recipe? What would you like to try? Does anybody want to, instead of a zucchini squash, what would you like to add here for this recipe? A yellow squash. A butternut squash. That would be good for this.
You think carrots would be good?
I would like it just because it's. I think carrots would go well with this, and it would also add that color too that I like. For this recipe, it would be nice in addition. I think that would be nice. Yeah. See this being as like a sautéed meal as well, like not just as a cold salad. Do this as you can saute with olive oil, garlic. That would be really good too. So right now I've got the corn, the black bean, the corn, and the squash, and that's Three Sisters. And I'm gonna do
Eva, we have a request. Is there any way you can stop sharing your screen?
Oh, stop sharing
Your slide
sure.
so that they can see you bigger. Yeah.
Oh, yep. yeah, great.
Perfect.
Sure. Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, and then I'll do this bell pepper. I chose red because I like that it's more vibrant and sweet. The color is vibrant. I think it would go great with this particular salad. It's sweeter to me than the green. Have you ever had the green one or the yellow one? I think the red one is the sweetest out of all of them. Oh yeah, I could smell that. It's so good. It's so crisp. Okay. Seeds out.
You're so good at chopping.
I'm used to making soups and stir fries, so like that's like the most chopping I ever do with vegetables. Yeah, big stir fry and soup. Vegetable lentil soup is something I make often. Look how the colors. Do you see the colors here with the? I love it. Just like the red of the bell pepper, and it's going to be sweet. The yellow corn, the zucchini is green, and then the black beans. And so here's a little trick that actually, if anybody ever has herbs or spices, mostly herbs that go wilty, you can put them in a little bit of water, and that really livens them up. I do that also with bok choy and choy sum. If it ever goes wilty on me and I feel like it needs a little bit of pick me up, I put it in a little bit of water, and it really makes the stems like toughen up, get stronger, and they don't get wilty. A little trick. Has anybody ever tried that? Putting your herbs in water or any kind of fruit vegetables that need livening up?
I've put my cilantro in water, but it still wilts.
Oh, do you have to?
I put a plastic bag over it.
Okay, and is it? Do you let it? How long do you let it sit in there?
Probably over a week.
Oh, really? And it's still wilty? I mean, is it pretty beyond?
Yeah.
You can't salvage it anymore.
No.
No. You know what? I actually meant to show you this little trick that I do. You know what these bags they give you for when you put your produce?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to use it as like a garbage bowl. Like you put all your trimmings and everything in here, so that by the time you're done with everything, you just throw this all out and it's compostable. I don't know if has anybody ever tried that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. You can just put everything in there. And then also like these little mushroom containers. I use it as like as I'm chopping, and I could put things in there and then also throw it all away. So it's kind of useful. So yes, here's my cilantro. I'm gonna try to cut a little bit more. It doesn't call for very much cilantro. It's only 1 tablespoon.
Can you freeze cilantro?
I haven't done it myself, but I imagine you can. I've seen ginger in like little packets of ginger being frozen. So I imagine you could. I can get back to you on that so we can find out for sure. I think you can though. Let's put this one in. It's going to be a little bit more than a tablespoon. And we have our limes. You roll your lime up so you can get all the juices to be loosened up.
Wow.
Does anybody do that? They know that. Did you ever hear this trick where you roll your lime up like this?
No.
No? Yeah, that's supposed to make it when you cut it, it just like makes the juices come out a little better. Yeah.
What about microwaving?
I've never done that before.
Okay.
Wow, I've never heard. Where did you hear that?
I don't know. I probably read
somewhere.
it somewhere.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, I've never done that before.
So I just looked up, can you freeze cilantro? Yes, you can. And so I sent
Okay.
a link.
Oh,
And
thank you.
they have a certain method of doing it though.
In water?
Yeah, freeze cilantro in cubes.
Yes, that's what I saw at Trader Joe's, like the ones that
Mhm.
are like cubed of ginger.
Mhm.
Yes, instead of having to, yeah, this you can get it whenever you need garlic, ginger, all that stuff. Yeah. So here's my lime juice. I'm gonna try to squeeze it into here. 2 tablespoons. Actually had it was just a little thing that you can, one of those crushes lime juice and lemon juice. So yeah, this is a tablespoon here. This is a good lime. It's pretty juicy. Just stir this up. See, doesn't that look presentable for a party? Can you bring this to a party? Like a potluck?
Yes,
It
looks
is how I
beautiful.
like. It's very pretty. It's very colorful and vibrant. And I think oftentimes people are looking for something to eat that's not fried or something, like, it's like a
Right.
dip or something like that. Like, hey, I need a little something else on there. This is nice.
Green apple would be nice to add to it.
Oh yeah, I could see that, a little tartness. And then you also have the green in there too. Yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, you could play around with this recipe. And, definitely the beans, like garbanzo. I think kidney beans would be good. Pinto beans. I saw that as an option when I was looking. I was like just trying to decide, what do I want on here? That's pretty. That's pretty it. That's it. This is the pretty simple recipe that you can do, and then you can utilize your canned goods that you have in your pantry, and you can also use your seasonal citrus or any other seasonal produce in here. So, yeah. Right. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Oh, I see a new question. Okay. Thank you. I hope you could, maybe you'll try this recipe out. Does anybody think they'll try this recipe, or you go and look up recipe and use things in your pantry?
So
And
how do
maybe
we
everybody.
get
What's that?
how do we get that recipe?
It's on eatfresh.org.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called a Three Sisters salad. Let me go back to my page here. Yes, right here. So, and yes, we can email this out to everyone. Dates.
That would be nice.
Yeah, it's very handy. I think people have referred to it. They print it out and they refer to it. So yeah, that's nice. Oh, yep. So yeah, eatfresh.org. Here's the website, and there's lots of different recipes to choose from. And what's great about it is that you can go and choose things that are like, oh, more quick things, or I want to. There's a drop box for different options that you can do for what you have. So like cooking on a budget, or like cooking for like cooking for less people, or cooking it's like more, simple recipes, easy, or like kid friendly, that kind of thing. So that was quick. All right, so if you're in the San Mateo County resident, you earn a $6 veggie voucher for every workshop you attend. And the vouchers will be mailed out after the last workshop. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, here's all the different markets everywhere in your area. San Francisco and San Mateo.
Eva, do you want to share your slide now? You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay.
Yes. Can you not see my screen right now? Oh, here, maybe. Oh, sorry about that. Let me try that again. There you go.
Perfect.
Right. Yeah, here we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is the website. You like to go to eatfresh.org for recipes. Yes. And if you're a San Mateo resident, you get a $6 veggie voucher for every workshop you attend. And the workshops will be mailed after your last workshop. We have a list of different farmers markets in San Mateo County and San Francisco. Yes. Thank you, Tina, Bruce, and everyone. If there's any questions that you'd like to ask, or if you'd like to have any input or feedback about anything that we've discussed in this workshop.
I'd like to ask you about the workshop. You said the last workshop. Does that mean you have every month or every weeks?
I think Tina, is that I
Yes,
think it's
so,
a monthly workshop.
We will, so this is the second one.
Yes.
The next one will be the third one. That will be, I think that's when Anna sent it out.
Yeah, the last one will be a different topic. And yeah, I think, is it scheduled with you, Tina?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and you guys have it monthly. Yeah. Were you here for the first workshop? Is it the same participants? Did anybody here catch the first one?
When was the first one? I don't remember.
Last month.
There's one last month, December.
Yeah.
December 15th.
I wanted to show that. Let's see. Okay. Yes, I think I wanted to show you, I think the first one. Yeah, so the first one was where's the waste? And so this one is it safe? The third one is it trash? So the next workshop topic is it trash? Yes, that'll be interesting.
Thank you so much, Eva.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, everyone.